from JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, March the 1st, 2024. The United States blocked a UN Security Council statement proposed by Algeria that blamed Israel for the stampede yesterday that left dozens of Gazan civilians dead. U.S. Deputy Ambassador Robert Wood told reporters the problem is that we don't have all the facts here, saying the statement needed to reflect the necessary due diligence with regards to culpability. As we reported to you yesterday, IDF spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari shared video showing a convoy of humanitarian aid trucks escorted by the IDF on their way to civilians in northern Gaza when thousands of Gazans rushed the trucks trying to raid the supplies before they reached their destination. Hagari said the IDF at one point fired warning shots in the air in an attempt to disperse the massive crowd, but no IDF strike was conducted. On the contrary, he said, the IDF was there carrying out a humanitarian aid operation to secure the humanitarian corridor and allow the aid convoy to reach its distribution point so that the humanitarian aid could reach Gazan civilians in the north who are in need. Jewish organizations added their voices to counteract those accusing Israel. The Anti-Defamation League said, "We mourn the loss of Palestinian lives in the tragic incident in Gaza. As the details emerge," it said, "we need to pay attention to the facts and avoid exploiting this tragedy for political purposes." The American Jewish Committee also shared information about the incident, saying every loss of civilian life is tragic. Stick to the facts, not Hamas propaganda. COGAT, the IDF's coordinating body for Gaza, said today that 48 packages of humanitarian aid were airdropped by Jordan into the northern Gaza Strip. Intense fighting, meanwhile, continues in Gaza, with IDF troops eliminating terrorists and also arresting dozens of suspected terror operatives hiding in a school. The IDF also responded to rockets fired from Gaza at southern Israel yesterday. Israeli aircraft targeting the area from which the launches were carried out, as well as hitting a number of other targets in the area, including, the IDF said, a tunnel shaft and military buildings used by terror group Hamas. While the families of hostages taken captive by Hamas during the massacre of October the 7th, still being held captive in Gaza, are on the third day of their 4-day walk from the Gaza border to Jerusalem, today carrying 134 stretchers, one for each hostage, still in Gaza now for 147 days. The march is organized by the Hostages and Missing Families Forum. Former Defense Minister and current member of the War Cabinet Benny Gantz joined the group today in Beit Shemesh, where he was cited by Army radio saying, "We are working on a deal. Every effort should be made to bring the hostages home. This is a task," he said, "for everyone and is the highest priority." The march is expected to reach Jerusalem tomorrow, Saturday. A local organization here in the U.S. is helping Israeli children suffering from emotional distress following the October 7th massacre. Ohel Children's Home and Family Services, based in Brooklyn, New York, recently translated 2 of its workbooks for children into Hebrew, printed and distributed in Israel, specifically developed for these children after a study conducted by the Israeli Pediatric Association found that 84% of Israeli children suffer from emotional distress due to the October 7th attacks. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, March the 1st. Live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 o'clock from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by Shabbat services from the Hampton Synagogue. Then Justin Pines and Dr. Erica Brown look at the story of Esther and the Jewish holiday of Purim on Jewish Insights. Rabbi Meir Lau is then featured at the 92nd Street Y, and then a replay from the Hampton Synagogue Services, followed by a replay from Central. And coming up next, a look at this week's Torah Portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, March the 1st, 2024. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom. Am Yisrael Chai.